Well, hi everyone. I'm John Riplin with my predictions for NXT Takeover in your house. Not my house, not your house, not Swerve's house. Swerve should be on this card. He should be on a Takeover card at some point. Is it at Vince's house? Whose house is it at? These are the questions that we need to answer, but, well, only one of the matches is going to be part of WWE's cinematic universe. That's going to be Cole versus Dream, and I don't know what the fuck's going to go on there, but they have an undercard, and they have a bunch of matches, Human Centipede together, and we're going to see what's going to happen. And by we, I mean me. I'm going to talk about, what I think, and the comment boxes there. Please let me know what you guys think, but this is going to be a pretty good card. Now, I will admit there's one particular match I don't care about, and one match I'm really fearful is not going to go the way I want, but that's why we do these things. That's why we have fun. So, I do want to say quickly that if they add an NXT tag title match, Eichner and Bartel versus Lorcan and Burch, I think Eichner and Bartel will get the victory. And also, if you look at the date on this, I am recording this a few days before NXT, so if they add anything, excuse me for not having the clairvoyance to see that. I cannot see into the future. Thanks, Sturb. Anytime I say that line, I only think of that Dragon Ball Z Abridged episode. Thank you for getting me into that. And so, let's start off with Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest's big black stick took out Finn Balor, and you could no longer see Balor's package on display on NXT TV, but then Damian Priest revealed himself with his big black stick, draping a big black chair over Balor's throat, saying, "I took you out, and then I'm going to take you out. My name will live forever." I don't really know why I'm making this so uncomfortable, except that's kind of what I do. I do make my show as uncomfortable as possible because I used to run a clean show, except that's a lie. I always use bad jokes. It's what I do. So, Priest's big black stick against Balor's package being on display. Who do you have? Well, myself, I have Damian Priest. Now, you could have Finn Balor win, and he could face Adam Cole, because Adam Cole's retaining. Sorry, it's a little bit of a spoiler there. And, you could have the former longest-running NXT champion against the current longest-running NXT champion. Then Balor eventually deep throats Adam Cole. That's for any fanfic people out there. But I think Damian Priest gets it here. Damian Priest winning would make the most sense, only because they're trying to push him. They did the stop-start thing with him. They seem to be going somewhere with Finn Balor. Him beating Balor would be a big deal. Gets a shot at Cole, Balor distracts, and then Priest loses, and then maybe even do a three-way match at some point. Priest's stick, Balor's package, Cole's Undisputed Era, I don't know. His last shot kick, I have no idea what the hell I'm on about anymore. Damian Priest is going to get the victory. I think this is going to be a pretty good match. This could actually be the sleeper match of the show. I think this could actually be, the best one on there, at least in my personal opinion. Now we have Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano in NXT North American Championship. After all the stuff they've done with Gargano turning heel and all this stuff, and Keith Lee, Mia Yim mocking, and Mia Yim and Candice are facing off on this week's NXT. I think that Gargano's going to win. You're going to get the women involved. They're going to do distractions. And yes, Gargano's last North American Championship reign didn't go that well. I think it can go better this time around. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Gargano and Candice as heels, but unless they're being called up to the main roster, you need to do something. I'm not saying you have Keith Lee go up to the main roster, as cool as that would be. Have him versus Drew. That'd be pretty interesting. But, him versus Braun. Have him take the title off of Braun. Why not? Unless you're going to call one of these guys, especially unless you're going to call Gargano up and he just turned heel, you got to give him the championship. Yes, Lee could win it back from him at some point. You could get them trading the championship after a number of months, but Lee has had it for 5.5 months. Time to change it around. He hasn't had a bad reign, but if he loses here, Gargano wins, then, maybe somebody else challenges Gargano and you get maybe an up-and-comer. Because otherwise you got to call Gargano and Candice up because there isn't anything else they could do unless they want to just do a rematch on TV and then totally, negate the network. But WWE never does rematches because the automatic rematch clause is still part of the show because they do that a lot. So Gargano's going to win. Then we get Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross. Karrion Killer Kross. Maybe shouldn't call him that. Maybe I shouldn't call him that. With Scarlett. And Kross is winning. Kross is winning decisively in 8 to 10 minutes, and that's really all I got to say about that. Ciampa can take this loss. They have big plans for Kross and Scarlett. I'm sure Vince has big plans for Scarlett because we know he loves blondes. Scarlett has the talent. She has the promo. She does have some good ability in the ring, and her and Kross are a dynamite pairing. And that entrance is fucking great. It's one of the best entrances going, in wrestling, period, today. And Kross has got to win. He's got to win. It's got to be decisive, because otherwise, I'm not saying you're going to take the shine off of him, but Ciampa can lose. Ciampa can lose easily. And then you can write him off for a little bit if he doesn't want to, if he, wants to take some more time off. Because otherwise, you're not gonna help Cross. If he has a super competitive match, back and forth, 20, 25-minute match with Ciampa, you're not gonna help Cross at all. Cross has got to win decisively. So Charlotte versus Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley, NXT Women's Championship. Here's what I want to have happen. I want Io and Rhea to top Charlotte at the same time. Have fun on. Io's a top. Moving on. I could see that happening, and then the title's held up, and it leads to a best-of-7 series between the women. And, Io wins after 7 matches. I don't know. That's what I want to have happen. And I really hope that Io and or Rhea win this. Here's what's going to happen. Charlotte is going... The whole thing with Charlotte and Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green just recently fired Robert Stone. She's not part of the Robert Stone brand anymore. Oh, well. Is what it is. Duke and Shafir are going to interfere as well. No DQ and a triple threat. Chelsea Green's going to interfere. You're going to have a new 4 horsewomen. Charlotte surrounding herself with pieces like her dad did, except her dad was far more talented than her. And you're going to have that, and you're going to have a new 4 horsewomen. I don't want that to be the case. They need to give Duke and Shafir something to do. They've had them in the crowd recently. Unless they're going to be called up to be Shayna's heavies, they are nowhere near ready to be on Raw or SmackDown. I mean, they're not even really ready for NXT TV, period. They haven't been, because they fucking suck. But in the ring, at least. I'm not saying it's people, but they suck in the ring. They have not been any good. But honestly, at this point, they're going to reform. They're going to form a 4 horsewomen. And I think that's who it's going to be. And people say, oh, what about Aaliyah? Yeah, what about Aaliyah? So, I want Io and Rhea to top Charlotte at the same time. But Charlotte's going to retain, and we're going to get a new 4 horsewomen. That's what I really fear. Either that, or they have Io or Rhea win, and then we have a new 4 horsewomen formed on not this week's NXT TV, but the following week. But that's coming. Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream, NXT Championship match. And if Velveteen Dream loses, he cannot challenge Adam Cole as long as Adam Cole, or he cannot challenge for the championship as long as Adam Cole is champion. Dream is being called up to the main roster. This is going to be cinematic. They're going to do Purple Rain and Dream shit and everything. And Dream's losing. Adam Cole's winning. That's it. That's all. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do as far as cinematic stuff. I'm really over this Cole Dream feud. I didn't really find it that interesting to begin with. I liked what Dream and Roddy did, even though I didn't understand how Roddy was supposed to be the heel. But Adam Cole's going to win. Maybe the Era is going to interfere or not. Adam Cole could beat Velveteen Dream, and he goes up to Raw or SmackDown. Since he's a character, he could go up to Raw. He could actually flourish there pretty well. But who the fuck knows? So that's what I got. I got Adam Cole winning. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.